Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Off Axis Builds. Today I'm going to be installing the steering wheel, and I'm going to also be doing the carpet up front, but there's some other little details I need to do to prepare for the electrical before I can lay the carpet down. So let's go ahead and get started on getting the steering wheel in and getting the linkage connected, and then we'll get going on the carpet. Alright guys, stay tuned. Let's get going. Alright guys, so before we get started, I just want to vacuum this area to make sure I got all the dust off and metal shavings and whatnot, so when I go to glue the carpet down, it has a good chance of sticking. So just going to go and vacuum that, and then we'll get going on putting some electrical runners underneath the carpet. So, okay. Alright guys, so what I have for electrical runners, it's roughly about a 1 inch wide tubing that I'm just going to install underneath the carpet. So we're going to run it from this light here, okay, to under the dash, okay. So you can see over here, I'll cut it to length obviously, but it's going to be something like this. And it'll come out down there, and I'm going to run a wire through it so when I put the carpet over it, I'm able to pull through, okay? So this will actually be up here like this, and then in the carpet I'll have a slit there so this can just fall right into it, okay? That's the idea at least. So I'll cut two, one for each side. Alright. Now, that's only electrical for those two things. Everything else I ran channels that come up through here. I'll actually run a wire through. So here, this will be my chaser wire for the two turn signals. See, got both ends. There's one there and one coming this way. I did that just so I have more room for more wires, and also pulled this carpet up so it's a little more flat, because otherwise the carpet would have drooped down right in the middle here. Kind of see it a little bit drooping down, but not so much with that support. And then once the other carpet's on, you won't even notice it once gas tanks and everything are installed. Okay, so let's go ahead and figure out where I want to put these. Okay, so I'm thinking somewhere right in here, like I said before, roughly about half an inch from here, okay? And then it'll extend past the carpet over there, just by a little bit, but obviously I'll have a chaser wire so I won't even notice it. before I go connecting anything, I want to make sure that the steering wheel is straight. Okay. Alright guys, so one thing I wanted to point out with that rack and pinion that I have on there, the steering is really tight. This is center, okay? That's locked over. So from there to there, that's 3/4 of a turn, it's locked over. So basically I have 1.5 turns lock to lock. So if we were to go center it again and go to the other side, that's locked over. So it's really tight steering, okay? The other thing, you have to make sure when you put this type of, I guess, steering shaft in, that you have the turn signal set up properly. So if I have the right hand turn signal on, you'll hear it click, and then it's going to pop back. Same thing with the left. And it pop back. So you got to make sure you set that properly. I didn't do a video on how to set that because at the time I was just learning on how to set it, and I just left it as is when I was done. So anyways, steering's in. Now I got to get the horn, paint this if I want to paint. I think I might paint it red just to kind of bring the red in a little bit more. Haven't quite decided on that yet. I may just go black on it. But anyways, steering's in. Foot pedals are in, dash is in. It's time to run some electrical. Well, first off guys, sorry, I gotta finish the carpet. So we'll go ahead and get started on that right now. And then, yeah. Alright guys, so I'm going to tell you right now, I've done a lot of carpet work on this car and interior work and whatnot. I'm not a carpet guy, I'm not an interior guy. This is the first time really doing something like this. So just take it as you go, take it slow, and you'll be able to get it done. Now these pieces I have cut are slightly larger. I do have this section cut out, but it still extends past. So I'm able to trim it up to what I need. Now I do need to come back and find, there's some bolt holes here where I'm going to attach the gas tank and all that. That's not a problem, I'll find that later. Right now I just want to get it glued down and then I'll trim out where I need to put the screws. So let's get started. Let's find center, and I think center is roughly right about here, and comes on up to here, okay? But let's go ahead and get that laid out, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll glue roughly about a foot section in here. I'll bring in the new carpet, do the same thing on that one, and I'll line it up so it sets perfectly here, goes both directions, make sure this top edge is good, okay? And then once I know all that looks good, then I can continue gluing left and right, and I'll do the final trim after I get it up onto the walls, okay? So let's go ahead and find center. See here. Now my dash is in. It's not going to be as easy as I thought. Not a big deal. Honestly, I think center is something like that, though. But we'll take some measurements and mark here, and then draw a line. All right. So, and these are rough measurements. I just want this seam to look somewhat decent, and somewhat in the center. Not a big deal if it's off center as long as it lines up. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. I have 24 inches to here. Actually, 24 right? Yeah. Okay. Double check that the other direction. Alright guys, so that carpet is in. Got the electrical runner, pull string on both sides. Yeah, so now I just need to cut the holes for the gas tank mount, and then this trunk area is near complete. Pretty stoked about this though.